the class for today. She's going to continue from where she stopped last week. I understand you had your exchange classes last weekend, and she was able to take you through the mailbox migration and advanced mailbox management. So this week she would be showing you guys how to do that hands-on, the practical classes for today. So without taking much of your time, Madam Titi, can you please confirm that you're here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. So you can actually start the class now. You have the mic. And I know some persons here, Ngozi, Bruno. Yeah, I missed you guys. Thanks for reaching out, right? I'm back. And I'll be sharing updates with you before the end of today. So we're just going to start the class for today. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to drop your questions in the chat. We're here to answer your questions. Thank you so much, Ma, for your time. You can have the mic now.
All right. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you all, from wherever you're joining us from today. Yes, so last week we covered, just a moment. Let me just share my screen. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, Ma.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so last week we were able to cover was day 2 of exchange, and in that class we were able to cover some advanced mailbox management. We talked about permissions. We talked about share mailboxes. We talked about archiving, compliance. We talked about quite a number of topics, and however, we did not have the time to go through the hands-on and see how those features that we talked about worked. So this week, what we want to do is to start with the lab, the hands-on, so that we can have a feel of it and understand how it's being done, right? And also, we can have, if we have time, or we will share the lab, rather, we'll share it with you, so you can go and try it out in your own lab environment as well. So this week, we are going to, on the high level, we are going to be searching. Yes, I know we've created mailbox. We know how to create mailboxes now, but we'll still do a bit of mailbox creation. We'll create user type of mailboxes, share mailboxes. That's different. A few different type of mailboxes. We'll touch that area. And then one of the lab also is going to involve the a minute. It's also going to involve creating and configuring litigation codes, and we'll test it and see how it is. We talked a bit about litigation code, where for compliance reasons, for purposes, or for investigation or legal issues, where do you go? How do you preserve? Do you even preserve the data in the first place before it's now that time for investigation? You need to retrieve the data. So we are going to be creating litigation code policy, and we assign it to user and test it out. If we cannot finish, because I think the lab is quite long, if we cannot finish it today, we'll continue next week. I'll be sorry, tomorrow, before we start tomorrow's topic, right? And finally, we'll see how to configure out of office, right? And just in case a user leaves the organization and you need to be able to inform your customers about that user, or user is on leave and is handling critical roles, somebody else need to be able to do or manage what they are working on. Yes, so without further delay, I'm just going to, let's start. Let me just fire up go to, like, we'll be using PowerShell if time permits. Okay, so moving on, already just very quickly to know how to create a mailbox, right? I'm currently logging into the portal. It's the normal portal, portal.office.com. That's where I am. I'm just going to open the various tools or management pages down for me. That's Exchange. I'm launching there. I'll be launching compliance as well. And then what else are we launching? Okay, I've already launched PowerShell. So let's move to Exchange Online. This is where we manage all our mailboxes. When it comes to managing mailboxes in Exchange Online, and here, from what we can see, you can see the option to create shared mailboxes. You notice there's no option here to create mailbox, that's user mailbox. There's no option here. So you have two ways or two options or two places for you to create standard user mailboxes. That is, one is to create a user here and assign a mailbox to them. And the second is to create your users via PowerShell, right? But other type of mailbox, like shared mailbox, we can create from here. Resource mailboxes, you go to resources, you'll be able to see the resource mailbox creation. You can create resources for equipment or room. So, but let's start it one at a time. The first thing we are going to do is to create a user mailbox. We are going to go back to the portal. I'm just going to quickly create an account here. I have a few list of names that I've already put down to make things faster. Now, again, while creating user account in Office 365 with the GUI, right? There are fields that are important. There are fields that are optional. However, some of those fields, you might want to fill it just to put complete the property or make the properties more robust. So more properties means you can easily and quickly identify who it is and what the account is being used for. So I'm just going to be creating an account for Bob. I'm hoping I don't have any Bob already in my environment, or let's go for Emma Wilson. So Emma's first name is a bit first name, last name, but if you notice, it's not compulsory, or yes, it's not compulsory, it's optional field. However, I like to fill it. Then my username is going to be emma.wilson based on our naming convention in the tenant. And I'm going to change it to my custom domain that we made use of the other time. Okay, so now creating a password for it. Just going to copy password and paste here, and I can go next to select products. Now, if you recall that while creating your user account, one important thing you have to do is to set the location where that user will be connecting from. The purpose of you setting a location is to ensure that the user's mailbox is hosted as close to the user as possible, right? In a data center as close to the user as possible. Okay, so I can leave it as United States, Georgia, and then I'm just going to give him a license. And from this license, recall last week, we can choose to unselect every other license and just give Exchange Online. That's Microsoft Exchange Online. Where is that? I think it's up, 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 up. So Yeah, here. I can choose to just uncheck every other thing like this and just check exchange online, but no point anyway. Let it have security and every other thing that comes with it. And I'll click next and move forward. If I need to give it an admin role, I will give it. But currently, this user is not an admin, it's just a standard user. And just a little bit more. I think I have something for his role and department. So his job title is job title and is in IT as a department. So I'll just click next and finish, right? So it's going to take a few seconds for the account to be created. That's Mailbox to be provisioned. So if we close this and we go to, oh, can I, this thing that is always, can I drag it? I think I can't drag it. Okay, I'm going to do it here. Yeah, good. Okay, so now I go to Exchange Online. I want to go and check for that user. And if I refresh, let's see if the user is here already. Ima. See anybody like that here? Okay, still the mailbox is still being created. It's yet to be provisioned. So that's simply how to create. You just create a user and you assign like, okay, yes, the user is here. So the mailbox has been created now. This email waiting. We'll try to log in later, or just to quickly log in here. Who is this? Bruce. I'll just use this guy. Go back. Okay, please, can you mute yourself if you're not speaking? Thank you. I'm just going to swc ima.ac at travel.com.ng. Okay, so next, not now. I can open his mailbox. We'll be using it later on. So now, just as we created the account from GUI, we can also use PowerShell. So this is how you see how quick it is to connect to PowerShell, right? A bit to use PowerShell. So I'm just going to copy. Now to use your PowerShell, you launch your PowerShell and you connect Exchange Online, then user, and you specify the user, then it will prompt us for password. Maybe. Okay. So it's just going to prompt here. I need to get my password. Okay, and I am in Exchange Online. So now to create a user mailbox, I'm just going to copy another command, do some cheat here. Where's my notepad? I have this command here. This is saying new mailbox. The name of the mailbox, John Doe, but we already have John Doe in the system. So I'm going to change to another name. Let's use Frank Thomas. So I'm going to use Thomas. Okay. And is this what will be is MS Online ID. MS Online ID is equivalent to user principal name. It's in email address format. So it's going to be Thomas Frank.Thomas at chaville.com.ng. Okay, that's our email domain. And I need to specify a password. Now, I could have just typed the password in, but for security purpose, we don't want to type the password in plain text, right? And then what we are saying is to convert that plain text that we'll type, which is this guy, to convert it to a secure format called string, right? String is a type for those of us that are developers or have a bit of developing background. You know what string is? String is a word, right? So I'll put this password, then I'm going to force it to allow that conversion, right? Then I'm specifying the first name and the last name, which our first name here is Frank, and our last name is Thomas. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this like this. And paste. So if you recall our PowerShell class in the beginner class, right? If there's an error with this command, already you will see it. Let me do now. You will see, let me see. I type something. As you're typing, there will be some icon here that says that either the command is not complete, right? But let's just enter, because we have a lot to cover actually. So that's it. The command is correct and the account has been created. This is the database the mailbox is hosted. See that unlike the GUI, we don't know which the mailbox database is hosting the user's mailbox. But here, you are able to see the mailbox database where the user mailbox resides, and additional settings like quota. So for every mailbox that have license of enterprise license, the initial mailbox size, remember we talked about it when we were talking about archiving even last week, the initial mailbox size is 100 gig, right? And subsequently, for you to get extra mailbox for the primary, you have to move the content to archive. So now this is saying prohibit send quota. So once the mailbox of the user grow up to the primary mailbox grow up to 99%, at the 99 gig, the user will no longer be able to receive email. He will be getting, when you want to send email, you can send, but when you want to receive email, they will be getting mailboxes. The user's mailbox is full. Even the sender will get an NDR that says user's mailbox is full, right? So the user can then inform their IT admin, who will then do something about it. Okay, so now what we can do is after creating a new mailbox, you must go to Office 365 Admin Center and assign the mailbox a a license or it will be disabled. So what does that mean? It means, remember that if you go to the portal and you create the account, after creating the account without you assigning license to the user, it does not have a Mailbox license. It doesn't have a Mailbox. So now we created from the PowerShell and it has already created a Mailbox for the user. However, the user does not have a license. So we'll go to the portal and go and check. We are looking for Frank. Okay, and here is Frank. Frank have a Mailbox already. But if we go to the portal and check, so things like this can happen just for you to remember that, oh, you created a Mailbox and you didn't remember that you did not assign license to the user. And after a while, user came to you and said they are unable to log in, or is telling them they do not have a license. So that's because you forgot to come and assign license to the user. However, you can also use PowerShell to assign the license to the user. Okay. So, oh my God, I didn't get that command down to assign license to the user. But can we also check from the PowerShell that that user has been created, just like we did from the portal? To check it, after creation is to type again, get Mailbox. Remember, it's a combination of verb and a noun, a verb and a noun. When we want to try to create the Mailbox, we say new. New is a Mailbox. Create a new, then new what? New user or new Mailbox, right? So same thing, get Mailbox. And which Mailbox do we want to get? We need to specify the identity of the Mailbox that we want to get. And the identity here is Frank. Frank.Thomas at chavi.com.ng. So here, if I hit it like this, if I hit enter like this, it just give me like this, the same thing that it gave after creating the Mailbox. However, I want more information about the user. Then what I'm going to do is to pipe it. Pipe means I'm going to tell it, give it a condition, right? I want this particular information. If I say FL simply means format list. That's just bring everything, every information about the user in a table kind of format, right? So if I hit enter and you see, unlike when you go to the user, look at the level of properties that this particular user have. But you have only added email, first name, last name, email address, password, and assign license. That's all you did. But you can see the level of properties or information that this particular account has, right? And as you are seeing them, you can also manage these individual properties, right? Let's say, for instance, we want to change the user's email address. You can actually change it. So currently, okay, here we can see the server name. You can see, let me go back up from beginning. Yes. Again, look at the database from here. And this is the database, the GUID of this database, not the user's mailbox. And then just before we go to that, you can see accept messages only from with display name. So messages from with display name doesn't mean if somebody send email to this account and it does not have display name, doesn't mean it will not accept it, or it will accept it. So it's not enforced, right? It's just there. But you can set it if you want to limit this user to who he can receive email from. Okay. Let me see the email address. Yeah, this is the user principal name. This is to log in to the system. Yeah, see, this is the email address. Now you notice it's having multiple, right? This one is the default, is our default email. This is the default email. And if you notice, it's having the small SMTP. The small SMTP means it is an additional email address. It's not the primary one. While the capital SMTP signifies the primary email address for that user. And what does it also mean? Anytime this user sends email out, this, even though he or she has multiple email addresses, the recipient will always see the email is coming from the one with capital SMTP. However, if somebody send a mail to the email address with small, the user will still receive it in the same inbox, right? He will receive it in the same inbox. So this is simply how to create and confirm user mailboxes in PowerShell. Okay. Also, we go back just quickly. You can come here now and assign license. But like I said, you can also use PowerShell to assign license to the user. Let's see something here. Good. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry for that long break. So again, same. It's asking for location. We just pick it. I'll say go ahead just to assign. Yes, and that's all with regards to creating user mailboxes in Exchange Online. So the next thing we want to do is to create a shared mailbox. Now, shared mailbox, remember we have to go and create it from the mailbox, from Exchange Online page. Here, we can create a shared mailbox. And you can also convert a standard user's mailbox to a shared mailbox. But first, let's quickly create a shared mailbox. Again, here we are going to give it, let's call it, which team is that? IT team, IT support, right? IT support. Okay, email address, IT support. Pick a domain, alias, just going to use the same, and we click create. Okay, now this mailbox has been created. However, before anybody can access it, we have to give them access. We have to give a user access to that mailbox, right? And these are the next step. Notice it just give us next step. Next step is to add user to the mailbox, right? So that the user can be able to access the mailbox. So we're going to click add user to the mailbox. What we are doing here is giving delegating the mailbox, access to the mailbox to another user. And you can see here it says full access is what we want to give. Anybody that have full access permission can actually connect to the mailbox. So I have a mailbox open here, and this is Will Smith, right? So I'm going to give Will Smith access. going to give Will Smith access to that mailbox, and I confirm. So like last week, somebody asked a question. If you create a share mailbox, when you assign the access, does it automatically show in Outlook or they have to go and check it? Recall I said it automatically mounts in Outlook for the user or OWA. So, but you have to wait for about 60 seconds, up to 60 seconds. So we just go to, you go back just so that we can see where is our shared mailbox, IT support. We have, we'll go to confirm that, you go to delegation, right? You go to delegation and you can see read and manage full access. There's one, say one. That means somebody, user is there. Then I can see one here. So he gave it both full and he gave it also send as permission. So we'll edit and you can see the user here. This user can manage the mailbox fully, but without this permission, the user will not be able to send. They send as permission. So that's that's simply creating a user account in M365 shared mailbox. Now, if we come here and we kind of refresh, let me be sure if refresh will work or we have to sign out and sign in back. Although, oh, sorry, in OWA, you have to go and say open another mailbox. So, and we select IT support. Support. And it will automatically load this page for us. I need to log in as another account. This is, who is this? Okay, this Emma. So now this IT support and this person has logged in, Will has logged into it. Now let me try to send email. I try to send email. What I will do here is to I want to enable the option. Go to option. I want to enable the from, the show from tab. Now this is the from tab. Then I'm going to drop down and select the IT support. Other mailbox. Now type IT support. Okay, I want to send from the mailbox of IT support. While I'm here, I can just send directly here, but I want us to see that send as permission. I want us to see it. So here, I've selected, I want to send from IT support and I'm sending to Emma. Check, yeah, Emma Wilson, that's the, I think that should be the CEO. Best send as permission. Okay, subject. Hello, Emma, for your information. Then I click send. Okay, and as I click send, normally remember that when you send an email, if you go to your send item, you will see the, oh yeah, I'm seeing it here also. That's because I have the access to this user the full access to the mailbox. Okay, go here. So I hope I sent it from Emma. Let me just confirm. That's from Emma. I think, yeah. Okay, the email came in. Sorry, the email came in and it said send as permission. Emma does not know who sent this email, whether it was IT support or it was Will that sent it. So now, what if I want to send on behalf of, I want the IT support not to be able to send us, but send on behalf of IT support. So you see the option here, send on behalf. I'll click. Then I'm going to add the person I want to send on behalf. We'll already have sent us, but we'll use the same person since we have the mailbox open, and we'll click permit or submit. This one said it will take about 5 minutes. Okay, we just give it some time for it to take effect. Now, just like we did, just like we created the account, like I said, from GUI, we can also create the same account from the shell. We can, I mean shared mailbox, we can create it from share as well. For you to create it, you need this command. I think there's a way to increase this font, right? Font. It's 16. Okay. So it's saying new mailbox. This time, what type of mailbox? You remember the first one, we did not specify the type. So this setting share here is that you want to create a shared mailbox, right? Before we add the name. We can also add the name of the mailbox before we put the share. The arrangement does not matter really, right? So now the primary email address of the user, if we are to create another one, we can create for CEO, office of the CEO. Let's quote it. The office of the CEO. CEO at chavi.com.ng. I'll close the quote and just copy this and paste it here. If I'm on the page like this, it's too long, I have to be scrolling. Let's use CLS. CLS is going to clear, it means clear screen. That's what it means. It's going to clear the screen for you, and you can have a clean slate again. So again, we want to create a new mailbox, and then the mailbox is going to be shared mailbox, and the name is this primary SMT. Okay, place it twice. I'm going to my mouse. Oh yes, did you notice the color of the what is this now? Okay. The name is not coming to my head. So you notice the color of this before the command itself. That's to say either something is missing or there's an error. Okay, so I'll just remove the extra that we put in here. Yes, and we'll click enter. So, okay, so it's just like we saw the other time. Now, what we want to do now is to grant access, also grant permission to a user. And here I'm going to be adding mailbox permission to the mailbox permission of who? The mailbox permission, the identity. Who am I adding the permission to? Which mailbox? It is the CEO. CEO at chavi.com.ng. Okay. Now, which user do I want to assign the permission to? the user I want to assign the permission to, let's see, so we give Emma. Let's give Emma. Emma dot. Emma, what was that? Emma Wilson at cavi.com.ng. Okay. Now, what's the access? This is stating what type of access or permission we want to grant. What we are giving here, we want to give full permission, full mailbox permission, and we want it to inherit all type, right? Inherit all type. This is also pasted twice. Is to inherit all type, right? That all type, these two commands in one. I'm just going to split them, right? All type means full mailbox, right? That's what is we are giving it, giving to Emma on that mailbox. Just then we eat. Something is missing. Okay, no, it's not missing. So this user now, Emma have full access permission on support, right? And then the next thing is we want to give it send as permission also. So we are going to do this, or even though just to test something, instead of giving Emma the full mailbox permission, we'll give Will again. Sorry, the send as. Let Will have it. Will Smith. cavi.com.ng. Okay, I want to show us something. And this email, we are giving it to the CEO. Let's assume that Will is the CEO's PA. This trustee here, who are you trusting with this send as right permission that you want to give? We want to add a mailbox permission to CEO shared mailbox. Who do we want to trust with this body or this responsibility to be able to send as? It's called trustee, right? And that is Will. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and paste it in my PowerShell window. And we hit enter. Okay, it's asking us to confirm. We could have also typed confirm, right, and force it. Okay, but we'll just click A to say all, or let's say yes. It will ask us for the next one so that we can see. Okay, so that's all that is required. And then we have done this. So it's as send as permission, but it is not inherited. Now we'll go back to this guy. We'll go to, let's look for CEO. Refresh again. What did we call it? The mailbox is, yes, CEO. Did I give it? Okay, see it, yes. It says support mailbox. Oh, I missed something. Oh, yes, the name. It's supposed to be CEO, but I gave it support. So now this is the mailbox. If we go to delegation, you will see there's already full access. Who has the full access? Emma. We go back, and who has the send as? Smith. Now we know that Emma, we are logging to Emma here somewhere. This is Will Smith, right? We will ask Will. Let me open my mailbox down here. That I can also use this guy as another test. So we'll ask Will to send an email, sending it from the mailbox of the CEO. So we can send as CEO. Okay, the CEO to Titi. Select Titi. Test send as. Okay, and we click send, right? So Titi should be able to get the email. The email has come in for Titi. Okay, now let's go to the mailbox of Emma. This is Emma. Now let Emma try to send an email and send the email. Remember that Emma has access. She has full access. That's to tell you that whether you have full access, the fact that you have full access does not mean you can send from the mailbox. So we'll pick CEO again. And we say test send as again. And we hit to who? We want to send it to Titi as well. And we hit send. See what happened here? Couldn't send this message. Let's view the detail. You will get a bounce. You do not have permission to send message from this mailbox. However, he has permission to open the mailbox and manage it and view the content of the mailbox. So I'm going to type CEO. So you see, it opened the mailbox for us without any favorite folder, without any issue. We can see the mailbox here open. So any email anybody sends to this mailbox, if we'll decide to send a mail to it, send an email to the CEO mailbox. Test at what time? 8:56. And we hit send. Okay, see that Emma is the one that have the mailbox open and you can view it. Likewise, if Will try to open that mailbox also, it's going to give him error because he does not have the right to open the mailbox. So if I go and say, open another mailbox and I say CEO, the fact that he has, Will has sent us from the mailbox does not give him the right. We can see that, right? That the fact that you have one right does not give you the right to do something else. So you cannot access deny, objection. That's it. So that completes the send permissions. I would have loved to do send on behalf of also so that you can see it. But probably we can just move on. Now, the next thing we want to do is to quickly create, where's my butter? Is to quickly create, okay, so finally, before we move away. Now, what if a user, you have this Tom Lee, for instance, this Tom Lee, I don't think he have a mailbox license, but he has a mailbox. He has a mailbox, but I don't think he have a license right now. So what I can do is convert this mailbox now to a shared mailbox. So this is a situation, it's a case of a user have left the organization. Before you remove the license, the first thing you must do is to convert that user mailbox to a shared mailbox. So if I go now, if I go to excuse me, if I go to the mailbox and where is that setting? Mailbox others. Yes. Yes, others. Not under mailbox. We go to others tab and you can see convert to a shared mailbox. If I click this button, it's asking, do you want to convert to a shared mailbox? I say confirm. Then we convert it from a regular user mailbox to a shared mailbox. Okay. Now it has finished. And if I need somebody to access it, I will also have to give them permission. And that's the delegate permission to a user to be able to access Tom's mailbox. And also I can now go to the portal and go and remove license from Tom. But I don't think Tom has. Let me check. Okay, currently it does not have a mailbox. So, but I can give access. So, oh, sorry, it doesn't have a license. Now, we're going to move on to next, which is resource mailboxes. We talk about resource mailboxes being a tool for you to manage resources, equipment, or room from within your organization. And that could be because you have single room or just two rooms, which every single person in the organization want to bring in their own visitor into. There's always conflict and people start arguing, no, we were to use the room first. Why didn't you ask? No, we asked before you, and all of that. To prevent such a conflict within an organization, you can have room mailbox created. Or you have equipment. Let's say you have a studio and the studio have some equipment. You don't usually leave it in the studio so that if people book the studio room, they can easily see the tool there. But because they usually use the studio for some other things, you decide to remove all the equipment. Now, anytime the marketing team need to go and produce their marketing videos, they will need to come and request for the studio kit, right? So here I created one, but we'll see the process of creating one, right? So first, let's create for a conference room. We have one conference room that can take about 20 people, okay? So we are going to call it conference. Maybe we gave the rooms have names, right? We'll call the room, what is it? Black Panther, yes. I hope the name is correct. Okay, so now give it an email address. The standard best practice is no space for your name. And we select our custom domain again. Then we'll click next. Now here you have more information like the capacity of the room. We said it can take 20 people, okay? And where is the location of this room? The Black Panther room is at the head office. That's head office. It can be, yes, at the head office. Head office, then phone number of the head office. Maybe we have a phone there, 80 00 no 803582. Is it correct? 1 2 3 4. Yes, 4. 1 2 3 4. Then 5. So it's correct. Now, department of this is not composed, is a room, right? It's a room, and the company name, call it Chaville, and address book, maybe in another class, if possible, if we have the advanced level 300 course, we will be talking about address book policy, right? Okay, but address book policy allow you to be able to create a rule or a kind of policy that says that let's say you have, this is the best use case that the way I can explain it. You have different companies. Within you have the parent company, non-parent company have other company, like you have a group of company, and each company under the group we can have their own email address policy now, or address book policy. The address book policy will now contain, might say, whoever that policy is assigned to is only apply, is only contain mailboxes from company A, and not contain mailboxes or addresses from company B. So that's the way it is being used. Then street, okay, just give Aje estate. Then country, we have the office is, head office is in Nigeria, and we'll click next. Okay. So here now, this is more information with regards to the room mailbox. Allow repeating meetings. What are repeating meetings? Meetings that happen maybe every week, every Monday at 10 a.m., between 10 and 12 p.m. every Monday, or every first Monday of every month, or every first month of every year. That is what they call repeating meetings, right? Then allow scheduling only during hour. If we check this, what is going to allow is going to allow them to schedule only during the official working hour. If the official working hour is 8 to 5, then they will only be able to schedule accordingly, but we will not select that. Then automatically decline meetings outside of the booking limits. Booking windows, he gave 180 days. So let's say if somebody have booked meeting at this one, let me not bite my tongue really. But whatever you set here, once you hit that number of days, it's going to be this is going to take effect, right? But not that it will stop working, but it's not just going to allow additional booking for that. Then duration that you can book for 24 hours, maybe a single booking can be 24 hours, right? Maybe we want to do an event that might last, I don't think any event will last 24 hours like that, okay? So it can be maybe 5 hours a day, or 8 hours, or 2 hours, depending. Then you can put a meeting here, a message here that tells what you want the organizer to see. So I will just say room booked, room booked, room booked, booked successfully. Successfully. Do not forget to plan for your meeting. Okay, I will say for your meeting, full stop. Okay, now the next thing is booking delegates. If we can choose to assign a delegate, if I uncheck this, automatically check this, we can choose to assign a delegate to manage this room, this mailbox. It means when people book, there will be an email that goes to the delegate who will approve it if the room is free or not. Okay, but if we say automatic, it will accept it without asking anybody. Once anybody book the meeting, automatically it will be accepted. But if we pick a delegate, then it's going to ask somebody, the delegate, to approve it or decline the meeting. And that is a manual action, right? Maybe we want to see it. Let's see. Let's see, who can we delegate this task to? Will is in trouble. He has a lot of responsibilities. So I'm just going to select Will, right? And I'll click next. Okay. And we are finished. You can click create. Okay, so after creating this, just like we did here, we can also use PowerShell to do the same thing. But I'm not going to be going with PowerShell now. I'm just going to move. It's taking quite some time to finish. Excuse me. I'm just going to move on, which supposed, okay. Okay, now. We're supposed to just check the mailboxes and check the configuration to see what's inside or other settings that we can see. All right, it's finished. Click done. Now we have Black Panther room created. If I click Black Panther room, I can see a few information. Like if you want to add additional detail, you can see it here. We have our delegate here, who is the delegate can send us. See what happened here? Delegate can send us automatically. It can send on behalf of automatically, and it has full access to the mailbox to manage it. So now let's go into Will's mailbox. This is Will, right? Will can connect. Let's connect to that room mailbox. You know, we gave him access to be able to manage it. Sorry, what am I doing? Come here and say, open another mailbox, and we select Black Panther. Okay, we open Black Panther here. It's opened. Now we'll go to, while that is open, I'm going to go to, this is Emma. Emma has a meeting, an upcoming meeting, and want to schedule a meeting, right? So we're going to click new, and we click events, events. Okay, and we're going to search for the room finder. Room finder building. Okay, let's what's going on. Okay, so let's go back. I go back to this. See, let's go to meeting. Still event. Okay, it's event, new meeting, and supposed to be able to test room selection. Invite who? Let's invite Titi. And then what date? Today is 5. That will be, it's coming up on the 7th. And it's going to be around 10 a.m. 10 to 12, it's 2 hours. And now we say allow recurring, right? Make recurring. If I click make recurring, then it will ask you how what day of the month or how often. If I say every one, is it week, is it day, is it month, is it year, depending. Then what day of the week, month, or year. If we select month, see the change on the 7th of every, or on the first Monday or first Tuesday of every month. If we select year, then it will change the month, to change it to month. First Monday of every month, of every April rather. So we're just going to cancel the scheduling and find, it's an in-person event because we are going to be using your room. So it's supposed to give me option here, allow. Oh, this is different. This is room finder. Okay. I think I get. So now let me choose in the resource room or mailbox in the location or as a resource. Yes. Let me see Black Panther. Right. Okay. So I think I'll have to check this. Supposed to just give us an option to select, to browse our mailbox and select a room. But for whatever reason, it's not working as it's supposed to. See, because I'm using this. I'll have to revisit this, okay? I'll revisit this. All right, so what we can do here is also to just check other properties of that mailbox. And that is, since we can't test it now, the only way I know that we can do again is to look for it here, Black Panther, right? Invite the room like we're inviting a standard person. We just put office, head office, head office. Okay, and we'll leave it like that. Black Panther room, Black at head office. So we'll leave it as that and we'll click send. Okay. Now we've clicked send. This is Emma. Your message has been forwarded. Let's see what you say. Tentative, okay? Let's expand it. So it still works, even though we couldn't select it in Outlook, still work. So the first message that came is your meeting was forwarded to Emma. Emma is the creator. Yes, Emma is the creator. Forwarded to Emma and selecting room, this detail of the meeting, right? And we have invited Black Panther. Now, your request was received and is pending approval. Since Black Panther is a mailbox, right? Is sending email back to the user saying your request was received and is pending approval. So now let's go to the approver. Approver is Bill. Black Panther, refresh. Approver is Bill. Let's see what happened in Bill's mailbox. Now, Bill has an email. He has an email, right? Because he's the one managing the Black Panther room, okay? So that's why he's receiving this email. So he can accept or reject. Now, this in-policy resource request was forwarded to you for your approval. This request was forwarded to you for approval because the organizer doesn't have permission to book this resource. So you now here, you either accept, decline, follow, or you accept it but tentatively. Okay, so what we'll do we have any other thing here? Note to organizer. If you want to, that's reply with a note to organizer or reply all attendee. So what we'll just do here is to accept it so that we can see what happened. Now we've accepted it. The mail has disappeared from here. Meanwhile, Emma has received an acceptance email. Okay, I think it's opened. The first, second, and now the meeting is now, Titi has not responded. The meeting is being accepted by, so which means he can use that room. At least that's an example. We are still able to do the accepting and then not accepting. That is the way if you assign a delegate to a room or to an equipment. If you do not, if you select the automatic, all this email on top of one meeting, and because you are using one room, you will not see, you only see the meeting invite in the calendar of the users or the recipient. So I'm going to move on. What's the time now? Not even gone like halfway. Okay, but just quickly, still have some time. Now let's talk about archiving, right? We talk about archiving as a way to clear, to declutter the mailbox. Archiving as a way to preserve the contents of mailbox. Archiving as a way to reduce the size or manage mailbox size or mailbox content. Okay, so now what we will be doing is to go to, this also can be done as it can be done from GUI and it can be done from PowerShell. So we'll go through the GUI and we're going to go to the mailboxes in Exchange Online. Go back to mailboxes. Okay. Patrick, you have your hand raised. Hello, Patrick. You have a question? Okay, I guess. Oh, allow mic. Okay, you can unmute yourself now and speak. Can we invite external user? All right. So let me just take a break and look at questions. I think I'm seeing plenty questions here. The screen is very tiny. Oh, Jesus. Somebody should have called my attention now. Oyimafu, I think you guys are not here. Apologies. Oh my God. Apologies. We'll try.
We're here, ma. But the screen is quite good for me. So maybe they are joining on their devices, their mobile phone.
Okay.
All right.
Let's still try.
Okay, can I speak now, Patrick, on the line?
Yes. Yes, go ahead, please.
All right. Titilope, I appreciate your presentation. It's been very awesome. Please, my question is this. Currently, I have a customer I'm attending to, and due to me, I see it as something that is complex. And surprisingly, that is the angle you have actually talked about now in this booking thing. So this man is like a church admin. So he wants to achieve this booking whereby if some members who wish to see the man of God come, they have a booking format where if they fill up the form, the email that it carries will land to him. He's supposed to get the email, and they that booked, that made this booking will also have their own copy of this email. So I've been trying to like wrap my head around it, but at the point he said we are going to consider Mefloru, creating a transport flow route that can help us achieve that. But I told him, let me go and troubleshoot and see what I can do about it. So I want to ask, please, what you have just shown us here, can it be a solution to this issue? Please, I would like you to like enlighten me on this so that I can just hit the nail on the head. Thank you.
Okay, so there is for booking, this is for managing rooms and equipment. Now, when it comes to managing calendars of the pastor, for instance, it means they can make use. One of the things they can do, since you say you have a form, right? So
Yes.
that form, you might need to do a little bit of automation, because the form it doesn't have anything to do with email, first of all.
No,
The
according
form,
to the man, he said
yeah,
the form is, there's an email that the form carries, whereby after filling the form, automatically, the email it will be delivered. Yes. So
okay.
that's where I'm being suspicious that maybe he created the form through this process or something. I don't know. I
No,
don't
he didn't
really.
create. Maybe he has used what he might have, maybe he used form, Google form, or he used Outlook form, right?
Okay.
Now, the way it has been configured is when the form is filled,
Yes.
there's a little bit of automation that say send the copy of the form to the email. Now, it might also be from their website as well, that somebody pull up the form and fill. The website manager has done the configuration at the background, and once they finish filling that form, it will be sent to a particular recipient. Okay.
Yes.
If it's a thing that the pastor needs to see the copy of the form and the date and time booked for the meeting, it's a matter of them either creating a forwarding rule in the primary email that receives the form, or they add the pastor's email address as an additional one that the form goes to after a member fills it. Now, you can also choose to add a bit of automation, right, in the form.
Okay.
If this one way in the form, they can put the link. They can, if the pastor is using Office 365, for instance, there is Microsoft Booking. There's a personal one for the pastor. So the pastor can generate a booking link and put it, they will embed it on the form. So anytime people fill that form, there will be a link there that takes them to now book an appointment with the pastor. Then they will also be able to see from that page whether it's available or is not available, right? And select the appropriate date. Once they are able to use his own link, his booking link to book, it automatically goes into his calendar item, and he will be able to see that so person has booked a meeting with him, right? That's another way. A third way is to use a bit of maybe if they can use Power Platform, for instance. Somebody fill the form finished, then they will automate it using Power Automate. I believe you guys did a bit of Power Platform here in this. This is okay. Now they use the Power Automate to automate it to say, after the form is being filled, create a calendar item from this particular mailbox. So there will not be a mailbox now that is responsible from this particular mailbox, and let the important guest or compulsory attendee, right, be the pastor, so he can get a copy of that invite in his calendar. So these are different ways. If the form is on the website, the website builder or developer have to be involved, and then they have to also have an email or email server to be able to send and receive that email, right? But those are like three options that I just gave you. But this one that we're talking about is majorly to manage, not to manage a person's calendar, but to manage room and equipment calendar. I don't know if it's clear now.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks so much.
Right. Okay, so do you copy the PowerShell? I'm going to the questions now. Do you copy the PowerShell or it populates on its own? No. I copied it. If you notice, I brought up a notepad, and on my notepad, I have my shell, my commands already composed and typed in. So I just copy it and I paste in the PowerShell window and hit enter. So help me copy the command on the chat. No problem. I will share with you in the lab file that I'll be sharing with you. It has all the commands there. You can make use of it. You have reached the recording limit for your plan to record longer. Who is this? What is this? Okay. This is not Toka. Never mind. How do we get this command? I will share it with you. We should have allowed Will to work at his will. Okay, because we are giving him so much responsibility, I guess. Can we invite external persons too? Yes, of course. You can invite external person. Yes. And they will also get the email after the approver has approved that the meeting can happen in that room. The let me see, I think I try to sign in to, do I have that other mailbox here? Who is this? So, but yes, you can invite an external person and they will get it. So I think a better way to address this solution will be through Microsoft Booking. Yes, exactly. Microsoft Booking. If you don't want to go through so much stress, just use Microsoft Booking for the pastor. That's the case of pastor. Thank you, Tara. Okay, that's all of the questions. And then I want to continue with the activities of today. Now we're talking about archive, right? First thing, if I just go to a user, I'm back on the Exchange Online Admin Center, and I notice, oh, this user has been receiving message. We're just simulating. This user has been receiving message that says his mailbox is full. Or when we are looking at the report, we realize you can actually see it from the report that a user's mailbox is full. Where can you get that if you are proactive enough? That will be under reports. If you go to report and you go to usage, right? Click usage report. I'm digressing a bit. How do you manage without the users being the one to tell you that as an admin, you should be proactive at some point? Without them being the one telling you that their mailbox is full, you can actually exchange, you can actually see that mailbox usage, right? Under mailbox usage, here you can see the size of the mailbox usage for the users. And here you can know when somebody's mailbox is hitting the limit. And you can quickly enable archive for that person's or that user's mailbox. Remember how I went? I went through here, let's expand it. I went through under admin portal. I went through report, usage, and from usage, you have usage, then you select exchange, and you're able to see the different activities as it relates to exchange. So I will go back to admin center. This is Paul. I want to try to enable archive for Paul, right? Even though the mailbox is still live, I don't want to wait up to that time, right? So what I'm going to do is to go to orders tab, and under the other tab, you see mailbox archive. It said what? Disabled. It's currently disabled. So what I will do is manage mailbox archive, and I will just toggle this button to on, and now it's enabled. So this is also giving me the ability to specify the name. That's this is the name of the folder in the user's mailbox that contain the archive. So for instance, if you see, remember when I showed you a mailbox last week that had archive in it? I'm just going to show something before I show that. Okay. So I have this Outlook client, and this Outlook client have different accounts in it, and one of it is Exchange Online. So we have stated that it should call it this way: online archive hyphen the name of the mailbox. So if we do the same, can call it online, just to be able to differentiate: online archive dash. This is even new, right? Before it doesn't ask for this, you just enable, and that's all. I'm wondering this why Microsoft is asking this anyway. So let me just call it online archive user. User is Paul Silas, and click save. Okay, so I'm going back, and right here, we have refresh here. Let me refresh. Just close it, refresh. Going back to mailbox. Now go back to Paul, and we check orders, and we can see the mailbox is now enabled for Paul. Okay. So now what you want to do before you turn on archive for a user is to create an archiving policy, right? That should be a best practice. Create an archiving policy. So to do that, so we can also, what we did here, right? We can also do it from Purview. I've already opened Purview. To open Purview, you go to Admin Center, or you can browse the Purview direct, then you go to compliance, or you can just enter the address purview.microsoft.com and it will bring you here. I'll click Get Started. Close this. And now I'm going to go to, let's go to Solutions. And under the solution, we have Data Lifecycle Management. So I'm going to click that. This is where you manage archiving and then retention policy. Okay, I don't know why it's taking some time, but on the data management page, we can see overview, we can see retention labels, we can see retention policy, option to import. Remember when we talk about migration, we talk about one option: you can import users PST file into their inbox. So you can use this import option here. And then we have priority cleanup is in preview. Anything you see preview is a feature that Microsoft have released, but is not open to general public yet. They release it so that a few people in the public can use it and give them feedback, whether the feature is good to have or is need to be improved upon, or is best like that, and they can release it. So depending on the popularity of that feature, they will go ahead to release it or to cancel the release. Then we have the exchange, and here is a exchange legacy, and we have classifier and also explorers. Okay, now on the overview page, you can see it's telling us at a glance, no retention label. But let's just go to, let's see what we have under exchange. And here we see Mailbox retention policy. So this is the legacy one. This used to be before. It used to be on the exchange admin center here. You'll see it here. But now it has been moved here, and it's called Mailbox retention policy or management. So this is the default policy that is created. Let's open this policy up. See what is here. These are tags. Tags are 1 month delete, 1 week delete, 1 year delete, 5 year delete, 7 months or 6 month delete, default 2 years, move to archive. Junk, what do they want to do to junk? We'll see some of those tags. We'll go back to it. And you have never delete anything. Personal. Now, all of these are for the default folders, like the inbox, the draft, the let's go to the account. So here you have inbox, you have sent item, you have draft, you have deleted item, you have junk, you have note, you have archive. These are default folders. And this policy, these tags are managing the default folder, Mailbox folder. Now, anywhere you see personal, there are other folders that you have created in your Mailbox. If I bring back my Outlook here, let me scroll to one. Here you can see so many folders. Folders are created to organize your inbox, right? So I have so many folders here. These extra folders that I created, they are personal folders, and these policies will affect them. So this is the default. Now it said recoverable item. When a user deletes a Mailbox, right? And when a user deletes a mail item, remember we looked at it last week, where a user deleted a mail, he moved into the mail item. I use a diagram to explain it, right? Then you can go into the deleted item folder and delete it from here. When you delete it from here, what it does is it's going to go into let me see if I can even view it from OA. I've never tried to access it from OA, so I'm gonna have to go back to Outlook to show you. So it's in Outlook, or recover item from deleted. So it's in Outlook. Recall we look at this folder last week, where we try to import. We have some items that are deleted, and I can go to recover deleted item. Where is deleted item? Sorry. If I go to deleted item here, you can see recover deleted item. If I click this, then you open this for me, right? So what I want to delete, what I want to restore, okay, I think that's that in the portal. Okay, so it doesn't have anything. This is the recoverable item folder. It's there also in OA, right? So what I want to do is to restore things that have been deleted that is no longer in the standard deleted item container. So I'm going to go back. Now, these are the default retention policies that have been created and tags, right? You can't delete. You notice as I open it, I can only look at it. If we say we want to edit it, okay. Say we want to edit it. Oh, yes, sorry, we can delete it. That was just a view. So now look at it in more detail, but this is default policy. These are tags, like I said. This one said 1 month delete and is referencing the personal. Retention is 30 days. If you delete content from the personal folder, it hold it for like 30 days. After 30 days, the action is to delete, right? Now look at this. It says move to archive 2 years, after 2 years. So any email that is exactly 2 years is going to be moved to archive. That's the last action, right? And what is this? The folder type is default folder type, right? So these are tags. Now, for you to enable, maybe if we go to the port to this thing, we are assigned, we enable mailbox for which account is that again? We enabled mailbox for Sila, for Paul, right? So I'm going to go here and get mailbox. Which mailbox do we want to get this time? Paul Silas. Paul dot Silas, right? So now let's look at the archive. You can filter it also to just bring the information you want. Currently, there's no in place code on it. And we'll see that also. That might be next week because time is fast spent. Where is the mailbox? Yeah, mailbox archive release. Disable mailbox database, archive database. No, okay. So here, the archive status is currently active. Archive state is local. And I want to look for the archive policy. What sharing policy? So the policy that has applied to this user is the default MRM policy. Hopefully I'm able to spot it here. Okay. Filter out. Let's filter out the policy. Okay, let's filter out. Okay, that's just policy status. The retention policies. Okay. Filter out. Format list. FL archive. Archive status. Comma. Retention. Hopefully. Retention policy. Hopefully give us what we are looking for. Okay, good. So the retention policy that is currently using is the default retention policy. Now, what we can do, instead of using the default, we can create our own retention policy. But this is a new place now that you create policy. This is the old one. So what we'll do here is to first look at the labels, the retention labels. We're going to create a label. Call it, let's give it inbox description for users. Or move to archive. Description for user, description for admin. You just click next, believe that. Then you retain item forever or for a specific period. If we click next on that, it's going to ask us how long do we want to. So if we want to retain it forever, we can select forever here. If we want to retain it for a specific period, 5 years, if it's more than that or not up to that, then we can create custom, right? Then start the retention period based on when items were created. So if we select this is 7 years now, it will look at sent item, for instance. The email was created 7 years ago or 6 years ago. Once it is 7 years, it's going to move it, or this is going to trigger this tag. Or is it when the item last modified? So, right, you can choose accordingly, and you can even create a new type if they are not here. Let's go back and click enforce action after a specific period. Okay, so these labels won't be retained, right? You can decide whether they should be deleted or labeled when the period you specify in the next step ends. Okay, so if I click next and the same page where we came before, but I'm going to go back again and we'll click just labeled the items, right? Just labeled item. So the item will not be retained, and then users won't be restricted from editing, moving, or deleting. And if you notice that this tag can be applied to content in Outlook, SharePoint, and OneDrive. So it's not just email, right? Outlook, SharePoint, and OneDrive. And we click next. We click this going back, and we click next, and then we can select maybe keep item forever. No, let's keep item from when it is created, and then we click next. Then what do we want to happen after the retention period has elapsed or is reached? Delete the item automatically, start a disposition review. So which means there will be a mail to a reviewer here. If we do that, let me go back. I selected start a deposition review. If we do that, if we select this, it's going to ask us to select who will be responsible to review those data before they are deleted, right? And you can even add stages, but we just stay with this. Let's say we change the label of after the retention has reached, change the label to something else, right? Then you can do this, or you can deactivate the retention setting. Once you deactivate retention setting on that particular item, what happens is you manually remove any item that you want to delete by yourself. So it will not be deleted, it will just be there. You have to go and perform an action on it by yourself. Okay, and let's click delete item automatically, and we click next. And then this, I need to be sure, yes, and we click create label. What's the time? 9 o'clock. I'll be 10 o'clock. All right. So this is submitting the label that we have just created. Okay. We can either use this, or if you are comfortable with the default, with the old one, which is the old Microsoft retention type, you can actually use that as well. And like I said, anything you do from the GUI, you can also do from the PowerShell. So submitting, but it's kind of taking some time. Let's just take, what else do we want to check here? Okay, so this is taking some, okay, it's taking a while, but it has finished. Thank God. Now publish this label to a particular location. And what location is we're going to create a policy now, because you've only created the label. Creating the label is going to do nothing without applying it, right? Without adding it to a policy and applying it. So we'll click done. And then now we have this label created. What we can do is to now publish it, okay? And we choose the label that we want to, which is only one here. And we click next. Then add or remove administrative unit. Here is a full directory, that's everyone right now, full directory. We have not created any admin unit. Administrative unit allow you to create group users. Maybe you have multiple companies that is using this tenant, and you want administrator in each company to be able to manage their own users. You can create administrative unit to hold each company's user in one container, right? And we click next. We are applying it to everybody across the organization, and we choose what type of retention policy, adaptive or static. Okay, so I'm just going to click next on this page, and here now we are going to select the scope where we want it to apply, right? By default, when you publish, users in your organization will be able to apply the label to information in these areas, right? You can add the scope. You notice it's not enabled for us. We can add scope, but if we choose to just go next like this, it's going to pick everything. Oh, sorry, supposed to, but now we need to add the scope, and our scope is no item. We'll have to create one. So here, to create a scope, I don't want to go through this. This is advanced. So we might be making use of this in that case. This one, I don't want to do that now. It's going to confuse us. Okay, it's going to really confuse us. So let me say I want to create, let's use this default, right? We can just create a tag, or we make use of any of the tag here if we are fine with what is already there. So I might not want to have all the tags that is currently bundled here. I might just want a reduced tag, right? So now I go to tag, I create, let me say I'm going to be using, I don't want to delete any email except email in the deleted item folder. So we're going to be choosing deleted item. We're okay with this. Junk item, we're okay with it. And then personal, move to archive after 6 months. Where is it? Okay, we don't have 6 months. So in this case now, 6 months delete. No, I don't want to delete. So in this case now, we have some organization that will say move it after 6 months to archive. So you might want to create a tag. I'm creating a tag, move to archive, 6 months, move to archive. 6 months, move to, after this, we are closing for the day, move to archive. Give a description if you want, but we just go automatically to entire mailboxes by default, or automatically to default folders, right? Or by users to items, personal folders. Okay, so we'll just leave this. A default policy tag applies to these all the items already. We can just leave it as this, as default, and we click next. Then when the item reaches the following age in day, say in days, that's 6 months. Days, if it's in days, that's 6 months is how many days? 180 days. Okay, after 180, once you reach 180 days, retention action, delete, allow, or permanently delete or move to archive. So delete and allow recovery, or permanently delete or move to archive. So we are moving it to archive. That's our intention. And we click next and we click submit. That's all. So say okay. What did he say? To complete this tag, we will need to complete the setup process for your organization. Would you like to? Yes. What setup process, sir? I don't even know. No. Error. Maybe it's already working. Couldn't update organization information. Okay. Why is this? Okay. No problem. Go ahead. Don't know what it is doing. Just looking at me, not saying anything.
That could be
Okay,
SI.
so I think what will happen. Sorry?
As I was saying, that could be SI. For some time now, there have been service incidences across.
Okay. That will be maybe. I think that's true. We're doing something this afternoon and we're also asking the same question. Is everything okay with Microsoft? All right. Anyway, things happened. Yes, it's 10 o'clock already, and though we still have some topics to touch here, but like I said, we'll continue from here tomorrow. Because this guy is not moving right now. He's just doing this. But we'll just continue from here tomorrow. So thank you all very much, and that will be all tell and show today. Do we have more questions in the chat? Okay. Is there a way to archive personal email when it is full? So when you say personal email, are you talking about things like Gmail, Outlook, Mail, and all of that? If you are talking about that, the only way you can use for those is to connect your mailbox to Outlook and export the email there, export it out to PST. Once you export it, you can then it will free the mailbox, right? Once you export, free the mailbox. Is it free the mailbox or you have to manually delete it? I'm not quite sure, but you can, that one you have to use manual archive. Yes, it will move it out of the mailbox, but you have to attach it because there's no other way, except you want to buy additional storage. Because I know in some cases, some of them sell additional storage if you have the fund, right? So that's that. And how can we enable for all employees at once? Must be done from PowerShell. Not necessarily. You can apply it to the organization as a whole from PowerShell, or you can you can apply to multiple users at a time. That means you select and do bulk edits right on the user mailboxes, and then you apply. So let's see if we have, so for instance, you notice, let me close this one. Now it has given a different message, but I'll just cancel it. This policy, let's go to the policy, and if we create a policy, right, we'll add tags, archive, then we add tags. The different tags that we have here, can choose, it has even created a 6-month move to archive, delete, 2 years, move to, we've already cleaned 6 months, we don't really need 2 years. 1 month, delete, where is personal, move to archive, 1 year. You can select them like that, and we click next, right? And we click submit. Okay, so clicking submit, and it said we have to go to Exchange Admin Center to apply it to mailboxes. So it means before now, you have a way, when it was here, you have a way to say is to apply, is to set it as default. But now it means for you to set it for everybody, you have to set it here, and the command, let me see if I have the command close by. Command to enable set archive for everybody of all mailboxes. Enable mailbox identity. Let me see. New retention policy. So here, if you say set, you can do set dash, or you can get first create a, you can create a script, right? That script will be like to first get all the mailboxes and hold it in a variable. Then it will now apply the policy to all the mailboxes. But you can use PowerShell. So let's see if we can do multiple management here. I think we only have 2 accounts, right? Mailbox policy. And here we can select our retention policy here. See, the archive is here. So I believe that has also been able to answer somebody. You can either use PowerShell or you do bulk edit. Again, when you select multiple users, you go to mailbox policies and you have access to all the policies. Sharing policy, you have role assignment policy. By default, every user have user role. Then you have retention policy, and you have email address or address book policy. Right. So that is how to apply to either standard user, single user, or bulk user. And thank you very much. That brings us to the end of today. What branch or part topic of M365 did you treat tonight? Oh, wow. Wow. What branch or part? What branch or part? I think, Patrick, you have, this is we went from creating mailboxes to shared mailboxes, now to compliance or retention, right? This is archiving, is can be part of compliance, can be part of retention, it can be part of mailbox management, where you declutter. I'm not sure if I really understand your question, but that is just have to do with management of mailboxes in Office 365. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you all very much for listening and paying attention to the classes. We are always very happy to answer your questions if you have more questions. I think we all have access to the community. You can throw your questions there and we'll attend to you or answer them as we have time or as time permits us. Thank you very much. And I love you all from my side.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so very much, Ma, for that very, very well explained class. Really do appreciate your time. I think you've been able to answer all the questions so far. Please, if you still have questions for Madam Titi, please reach out to her. I don't have her LinkedIn profile link, but if you check her, you definitely see her there. You can also reach out to her via WhatsApp. I think I'll be dropping her number in the mentees WhatsApp group. Thank you all so much for joining in today. We look forward to having you same time tomorrow for another session of the Exchange online class. Do have a good night rest, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you
Good
so
night,
much, Ma.
everyone.
Yeah. So for those that are still here, you have the link. You have Madam Titi's LinkedIn profile URL in the chat. Do well to connect with her on LinkedIn. Sure, we're going to share the recorded video with you, hopefully by tomorrow, so you can go through the class recordings. Thank you.